Hi, I'm Jackie Goddard, Power to Speak. And I thought, as I've been given a task to put together a talk next week, that I would actually show you the process that I go through and the process that I go through with my clients whenever they have a talk or a presentation that they need to put together. So, where do you start? Well, you start with a brief. What is it that the company that you're going to be working with has sent you over? What do they require of you? What are they looking for? What is it that they want out of a talk from you? And who are your audience going to be? So this was the brief that I was given. This is for a charity, for a hospice, in fact, for their staff. And the brief that I've been given is they want a speaker to give an inspiring 20-minute talk about resilience, finding the joy within and owning it. So that's obviously quite a specific topic. Now, the reason that I've been tasked with this job is because the person organising this event has heard me do a similar talk before. So she knows that I have all of the knowledge to deliver this talk in an inspiring, entertaining and motivational way, which is great. So where do I start with that? Well, obviously, as I've said, I have some talks already up my sleeve. So I went back and I've had a look at what I've got already, what I've written down, blogs that I've written. I have, which I do quite often, is the words that I've been given. What do they mean? What's the definition? So I actually go to the dictionary and find out. So I've got here the definition of resilience and the definition of joy, because those are two things that they are really looking for. And then after I've been given the brief and I have listed all the words that have come out of that and I've started looking back at what I've got, I like to look into some other inspiration for my talk. So I know that my talk is going to be about joy and resilience. So what I've done is actually found myself some TED Talks. And I love a TED Talk. But this one here is by Ingrid Fettel-Lee, and it is actually about joy and the aesthetics of joy. So I've watched that, and I've watched a couple of others that are related to joy and happiness and resilience. And I really find that that's a great way to spark my imagination and get me feeling creative about what it is that I'm going to be talking about. Plus, you find out, you learn from these people that are giving the talks, as people will learn when you are giving your talk. So do your research, and then I write it all down. So I go to my notebook, I write down everything that has come out of the talk, everything that I think they're looking for. Yesterday, I had a chat with the director of people from the charity, and she talked me through exactly what it was that they were looking for. So using her words and using the words that I've found within my own talks and what I've done before, I've managed to sort of piece together exactly what the content should be. Now, the next step is to get the flow. And in order to do that, I use a flowchart, like almost like a mind map, really. So in the centre here, I have the topic, the theme, and in this case, it's joy, the joy within, and resilience. And then I've got 4 circles on the outside, which for me starts here with my big takeoff. So I walk onto the stage and I start with the story. So that's where I start. These are the points that I need to make, and this is where I need to get the audience to a point up from an ordinary life right the way through to an extraordinary life. And in between, I'm going to use inspiring stories to take them on that journey, to get them from the ordinary world to the extraordinary world. So I know that I've only got 20 minutes, which isn't very long. So I know I've got roughly 5 minutes per topic. And so what I've done is I then, over here, list all the points that I need to make. So trust, I need to hit that one. I need joy, resilience, positivity, passion, enthusiasm, responsibility, all of the words that I've heard from the organiser and from the director of people. And each one of those for me has related to a story. So storytelling is really important, because stories from your own experience, you can't get caught out if you're telling a story. You can't be judged for being yourself. for using your own experience. And it's a fantastic way to engage an audience, because the audience won't necessarily hear what you said or really take in what they've said. They won't remember what you said, but they will remember how you made them feel. So stories are a great way of resonating and relating to people in the audience, so that you make them feel something, so that there's an emotional pull to listen and engage with what it is that you're talking about. So I have 4 different stories that will relate to each one of my topics. And then once I've worked out what those topics are, what those four circles are full of, I can then picture those stories with the visual, and the visuals will be my slides. So there won't be any words necessarily on my slides. I might have a couple of the quotes, but actually they will be visuals, and the visuals will just underline each one of the stories that I'm going to tell. So that's what your slides are for. That's what the slide deck is for. It's not for you to read to help you get through your journey of your talk, I'm afraid. So that's where I'm at the moment. I've got the flow, I've got the content. What I need to do now is really dig deep and construct it. I'm going to take you to my office. Here we are. My office. Yeah, it's basically my living room. So what we're going to do now is going to do some writing. Some handwriting with a pen. And the idea of this is to kind of just get out of my head and onto paper the stories that I want to tell. So I know what the stories are because I've lived them. I know what they are, but I want to dig into the detail, find out really what it is that I'm trying to get from this particular story for this particular audience. So that's where I'm going to start, by writing. You can't solve the world's problems, but when you start with self-care, you set up a ripple effect that goes from you to your loved ones, to your friends, colleagues, communities, the country, and beyond. Interesting stuff that you didn't know about the person sat next to you there. Me, I make up plays. So I write them, direct them, star it. So find time to play, whatever that means for you. Cooking, gardening, knitting, sewing,